morning, ladies and gentlemen. The April session of the Special Magistrate for the City of Oviedo is now in session. For those of you who may not be familiar with the process, let me explain a bit about what we're doing here today. The Florida statutes, Chapter 162, and the ordinances of the City of Oviedo provide for the creation of a special magistrate. That's me. My name's Howard Marcy. Under the statutes and the rules, my role is to sit in as a judge, as it were, on complaints that have been brought before me. Typically what happens is the city will get a complaint from a neighbor or someone in the vicinity, or in a routine inspection, they'll find a condition that fails to comply with the ordinances of the city. And when they do that, they put the property owner on notice, and if it's not remedied, then they file a complaint, and then that comes before me. My role today is to determine whether there's any merit to the complaint that's been filed by the Code Enforcement Office. If there is, I have several options open to me. Obviously, the thing that we desire the most is to correct the bad condition. But sometimes we can't do that, and then the statute allows me to impose fines. So that's what we're doing here today. Anyone who's here to speak to, there are two cases pending today, and we will hear from anyone who wants to speak to those cases. The first case today is case CE 17-000596. Involving Jeremy Barong. The property in question is 786 Lincoln Parkway, Oviedo 32765. The parcel identification number is 16-21-31-503-0D00-002A. And the city has alleged that the owner has been parking a boat trailer within the front building line of the house and street in violation of the Land Development Code, Section 4.11. Who's going to speak on behalf of the city today? All right, you come forward, Mr. Royals. Who's going to speak on behalf of the landowner? Would you step forward, sir? First, would each of you state your name?
Jim Orioles.
And you, sir? Would you both raise your right hand? You solemnly affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Orioles, we'll start with you since you brought the complaint. And if you want to have a seat, Mr. Barong, we'll give you a chance as soon as he's through. All right, Mr. Orioles.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jim Orioles representing the city in case 17-000596, 786 Lincoln Parkway. Violation of Land Development Code 4.11B2. I have 15 pages of evidence, Your Honor. I have already provided the respondent with the same evidence. I would like to approach the bench.
Mr. Barong, you've seen these materials? All right. I'm going to admit those into evidence as the city's Exhibit 1. Right? Mr. Royals, go ahead.
The first document, Your Honor, sees is the property appraiser sheet that shows the property is in fact owned by Mr. Jeremy Barong. The second document is the copy of the Land Development Code, Section 4.11B2, which prohibits parking of a boat trailer between the front building line of the house and the street. Your Honor, the next item that Your Honor has is the first case we had against this property. Back on January 20th, we noticed a boat parked between the front line of the building line of the house and the street. We left the door hanger, and upon a reinspection on January 27th, the boat had been put behind the house or alongside the house. They were in compliance. On February 16th, we opened another case and sent a follow-up letter to the property owner for the same condition. The next document, Your Honor, will find is the follow-up letter explaining the violation, and if you'll notice the underlined portion of the letter, it says failure to take the steps necessary to correct the situation described above will result in formal code enforcement action being taken against you. That can include citations, a hearing, and the imposition of fines. The next document, Your Honor, will find is on March 16, 2017. During a routine inspection, you see a picture of the same boat parked clearly between the front building line of the house and the street. On the same day, we sent a notice of violation with a correction date of March 26, 2017. The next document is the certified mail receipt, and the next document after that is the signed green card. The next inspection was done on the 29th of March. That's the next document Your Honor will see, and you can see that the boat is again between the front building line of the house and the street. We prepared an affidavit of violation request for hearing and a notice of hearing. The next document is the certified mail receipt and the signed green card from the respondent. The last document Your Honor has is a picture of this morning. The property was in compliance this morning. The boat was way back behind the side of the house. It can't be seen in the picture, as a matter of fact. It was on property but could not be seen. The property's in compliance. What the city would like to request in this case is that Your Honor finds that the property was in non-compliance after the requested date by the city, and any further violation of this code on this address by this owner will result in a repeat violation where the fines can be increased.
All right. First, I'm going to find as a threshold matter, seeing that Mr. Brong is here, that all necessary notices required under the statutes and the ordinances have been complied with. Mr. Brong, it's your turn.
It's a rental property, and the tenant just moved in. So I've been telling them, and I think you finally got the picture now, as you see from the last picture. Do you guys, you do put door hangers on the doors? I didn't realize that. So he's aware of the violations going on?
Yes, sir. We
put the
hanger on the first time, and the second time we sent you a follow-up letter.
Okay. He's in compliance now. I told him I've been by there, every day this week. So.
What, does your lease have a provision where you can pass any fines on to the...
Yeah, I probably could. I don't know if you could afford it.
Well, I realize it's always a touchy situation when you're renting. I rented a duplex once to some students at UCF, and they were parking motorcycles in the living room.
Oh, yeah.
And having parties on the roof. But you as the owner, of course, are responsible for seeing that it's enforced. I am going to find that there has been a past violation that is now in compliance. But I'm going to also find that should there be any future violations, it would constitute a repeat violation.
Okay.
And that has some serious consequences. Under the statute, I could fine you $250 a day for each day of violation, except for repeat violations. For repeat violations, I could fine you $500 a day, double the fine.
Okay.
So I would suggest, Mr. Brong, that you stress to this property owner that should there be a repeat violation, and apparently he's sort of off again and on again looking at these photographs, I'll have no choice but to impose a pretty stiff fine per day.
Sure.
All right. Anything else that the city is requesting at this time?
No, sir, we're not.
All right. And no administrative costs or fees?
No, sir.
All right. None have been requested and none are awarded. All right. I'll enter an order to that effect, Mr. Brong.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next case is case CE 17-000805. The respondent is 2015-3 IH2 Borrower LP, care of Invitation Home Tax Department. The property in question is 1125 Geneva Drive, Oviedo, Florida, 32765. Parcel ID is 11-21-31-0D00-0280. The city has alleged that the property owner has been parking a boat trailer between the front building line of the house and the street in violation of Land Development Code Section 4.11 B2, I think it is. And I do note that this is a repeat violation. I entered an order back on August 27, I think it was, of 2015 on this particular property. So who's going to speak to this today on behalf of the city?
I will, Your Honor.
All right, and on behalf of the owner?
I'm on behalf of the owner, and he's the renter.
All right, well, let me step forward, the two of you then, if you're going to speak. Okay, and your full name, Mr. Orioles?
Jim Orioles.
And yours, ma'am?
Angel Brown.
Angel?
Brown, like the color.
Okay, and your name, sir? Robert. And how do you spell the last name? E? Oh, D-E-A. C-O-N, Deacon. T-O-N, Deacon. All right, if you two of you can be seated, and we'll hear from Mr. Orioles, and then you'll get your turn. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, both of you raise your right hand. Mr. Deaton, do you solemnly affirm the testimony you shall give today shall be the truth and hold nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mr. Orioles, go ahead.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Jim Orioles representing the city in case number 17-000805. This is a repeat violation on 1125 Geneva Drive for violation of 4.11B2. In case number 15-0001-075, Your Honor has adjudicated that the property was then in noncompliance with the same violation, so we are requesting a repeat violation today. The first document in front of you, I'm sorry, if I may approach the bench with Your Honor, I have 16 pages of evidence that I have also given to the respondent.
Okay. All right. And do the two of you have these? All right. Going to admit this into the evidence as the city's Exhibit 1. Go ahead, Mr. Orioles.
The first document Your Honor will see is the property appraiser sheet that shows the property is in fact owned by 2015-3 IH2 Borrower LLP. And the second document is the provision of the Land Development Code, which prohibits parking a boat or boat trailer between the front building line and the house and the street. The third and the fourth items in here are the special magistrate's findings, fact, conclusion of law and order of August 27, 2015, where the property was adjudicated in noncompliance of the same code. On 4/12, during routine inspection, it was observed that there was a boat parked between the front building line of the house and the street, which Your Honor can see in the next document, taken 4/12/2017. On the same date, we sent an affidavit of repeat violation and a request for hearing and a notice of hearing. Next document Your Honor will find is the certified mail receipt. Your Honor also noticed that the green card was signed. The next document after the green card is an affidavit of service. The same date we sent the letter, as is allowed in 162, we sent it first class, we posted the property, and we posted City Hall. So as of April 13th, we have service on the property. The next pictures Your Honor will see is taken from the 14th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th, which show that the boat was still there. And that's a full 7 days after the property was posted. This morning at 7:40, I inspected the property, and the property was in compliance the boat was no longer parked between the front building line of the house and the street.
All right, first I'm going to find it's a threshold matter that all notices required by statute and ordinance have been given. I note that both the owner, representative of the owner, and the tenant is here today. Anything else to present, Mr. Orioles?
No, sir.
What relief is the city requesting?
The city's requesting, Your Honor, that the, by our count, from the 12th to the 20th, the property was in violation for 8 days.
Okay.
So for whatever Your Honors chooses, we do believe the property was in violation for 8 days, and I might add a full 7 days after the property was posted, so that the tenant should have known at that time that it was in violation from removing the posting from the property.
All right, thank you, Mr. Orioles. All right, who wants to speak on behalf of the property owner? Ms. Brown, is it?
Yes, I work for Invitation Homes, so we have several different owner entities, and I see the...
I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty
Okay,
hearing you.
we have several different owner entities and different addresses, so the certified is mailed to Dallas, but our management company is here in Altamont Springs or in Central Florida, so I see someone did sign for it on the 19th, but we didn't receive the violation until the 21st. I wasn't aware of the door hanger thing until I just overheard
Raise
the
that
previous...
microphone.
The previous case. But, so we received it in our office on the 21st of April, and then we work with our residents, we communicate with them, and they work with us, and we request pictures showing that it's removed, and once we receive the pictures, then we send it to our internal HOA department, and they send it to the city, or usually we deal with HOA violations, so this would kind of fall under that, but they would send it to the city to show that we're in compliance. But he's the renter that can explain why it was there a little bit longer than it should have been.
Well, let me ask you, I see the certified mail was sent to 2015-3, IHP borrower, care of Invitation Homes Tax Department, 1717 Main Street, Suite 2000, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Is that the owner's address?
I guess on paper, that's the owner's address, but that didn't go to me, who would be the one who would be representing the owner and dealing with this issue. So it goes to Dallas, and then it has to go to us from Dallas, to our actual
Okay.
office.
And somebody did sign for it on the 19th.
Right, yes, I don't know who that person even is.
Okay. What was the property?
If I may, according to statute 162, by virtue of the posting, both the city hall and the property, sending the letter first class and sending the certified, the respondent was served on April 13th.
Yeah, and when was the property posted?
On April 13th.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Brown?
No, that's it, I think.
All right, Mr. Deaton, the property, Mr. Oriole says the property was posted on April 13th. What did you do with that when you got it?
With the boat, sir, I could not do anything with the boat. It had a.
Well, I'm sorry?
I couldn't do anything with the boat at that particular time. It had mechanical problems. The wheel bearing had gone out in it, and I wasn't able to fix it right away. But as soon as it was, I did dispose of the
But you got
truck.
the posting on the 13th?
Yes, sir, I did get a posting on my door.
Okay. What are the plans for correcting this problem?
Well, sir, I own 2 boats. I do not keep them on property, nor do I keep them behind the line or behind the door. I keep them on a separate property under lock and key. But I was on my way home from a venue that day, and the wheel bearing went out. Wheel bearing melted, the race melted to the thing. There was no way I could take care of it until I got tool and the time to take care of it myself, you know. So boats won't be there any longer, I promise you that, you know. Well, something unfortunate happens, you know, but, you know, if it's I don't know, can I park overnight if something like that? Is there an ordinance, just period, no at all? You know, you've got to have it someplace else, or, you know, I apologize for wasting his time and your time with this, and like I said.
Well, you know, I would tend to be sympathetic to the wheel bearing problem. We're not this a repeat violation, but we had the same problem back in August of 2015?
Yes, sir.
2015.
2 years ago, yes, sir.
And on that occasion,
And the boat was just, I just suppose, you know, as soon as I got within a day or so, the boat was gone. I mean, there was no mechanical problems with that boat. I just wasn't aware of the city ordinance at the time. You know, I'm a renter. You know, ignorance of the law, no excuse. I understand that. But, yeah, the boat was just disposed of at that time.
okay, anything else to present?
No, sir.
You're telling us that it took 8 days to get somebody to move the boat? Is that
No, 8 days for me. I'm a single parent. I work 2 jobs. I work superintendent by day, construction, LA Fitness at night, 3-4 nights a week. Yes, I did take me a little time to get the races off the axle and remove the bearing, put the bearing back in, and remove the boat. 2 days, you know. One day the process was getting off, the other day was getting it back on.
Okay. All right, anything else?
No, sir.
Ms. Brown, anything else? No, sir. All right. Yeah, I am concerned that this is a repeat violation. It seems to me that having dealt with this back in August of 2015, now I assume that you were the tenant at that point in time, Mr. Deaton?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that you would have been sensitive to the problem of this boat being on the property. And Ms. Brown, I know that large corporations move in mysterious ways, but when the city puts the owner of record on notice, your internal workings ought to be such that it doesn't take several days. I'm going to impose a fine of $100 a day for 7 days for a total of $700. And I will enter an order to that effect. Okay, anything else to come before us today? All right, okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else to come before the magistrate today? All right, we are adjourned.